Hello there once again. This is Ian, your boy Ian, and we're here for the second installment or the second edition of the SportOn show. As we said, it's a new show that will be looking at sports news going on throughout the country and also throughout the world. Yeah, and I would like to thank those who viewed the first installment on my YouTube channel. You can check it out, Ian Musinze on YouTube. So far we have around 71 views and around 13 subscribers. Not bad for one video channel. So I thank those who have already watched, viewed and subscribed, and I urge you all who are watching this to go there, watch, like, comment and subscribe. Yeah, so today we are once again looking at the recap of the World Cup so far. The last time we were here we looked at the quarterfinals in detail, and I had some predictions of who would make it through, but we had upsets, as we shall see, and then we shall look at the stories that are making rounds transfer-wise and also around the World Cup. So let's go. So in the World Cup quarterfinals, we saw the first game where we saw Netherlands taking on Argentina. It was a hotly contested game. No one knew where it would go, but of course some people would fancy Messi and Argentina to make it through. Though it was not smooth sailing, they took a 2-0 lead, and late when in the 80s, around the 83rd minute, Wout Weghorst was introduced for Netherlands. He scored twice to take the game to extra time and then to penalties, where Argentina, courtesy of the heroics of Emiliano Martinez, the goalkeeper, prevailed from the penalty spot 4-3 and proceeded to the semi-finals. So in that case, we saw a hotly contested game, people getting red carded at the end of it. We saw some people, the benches hotting up like as if it was an American football game. Yeah, but all of a sudden, Lionel Messi makes it to his semi-final, and we'll be hopeful that he can make it all the way to the final and get his first World Cup before maybe he retires from international football. In the other game, we saw the biggest upset of the quarterfinals. The favorites for almost everyone, that is Brazil, being eliminated by Croatia. The game yet again played out to a 1-1 draw in normal time, with Bruno Petkovic equalizing for Croatia late into extra time, that is in the added 30 minutes, to take the game to penalties. And then we saw the goalkeeper Livakovic of Croatia putting there a stellar performance to save penalties of Brazil, and then Marquinhos hitting the post with the last penalty to ensure that Croatia went through to the semi-finals. So we shall see Messi's Argentina taking on Luka Modric's Croatia in the first semi-final, which is taking place today, that is Tuesday at 10 p.m. So watch out for that, and please make sure to predict and tell me who you think is going through that round. So in the other game of the quarterfinals, we saw England taking on France. Again, a game that many could not predict. Of course, France being the defending champions, some people would fancy them to win this game easily. And yes, they took the lead first, but England equalized through a hurricane penalty. And then, as usual, Olivier Giroud came through with a header to take the lead for France late on in the game. And later on, just a few minutes later, England were awarded another penalty after Mason Mount was taken down in the penalty box, but Harry Kane skied his kick, and there were no more chances for England to tie the game, leading to a 2-1 win for France and ensuring that the defending champions head into the semi-finals, still with a chance of defending their title and become the only team to do so after Brazil. Yeah, so that is one round, so France through to the semi-finals. The other games from Morocco, the surprise package of this World Cup without a doubt, taking on Portugal, who again were pitted to be favorites for the title alongside Brazil and France. Yeah, but Morocco stunning the entire world of football by winning 1-0 courtesy of their marksman, that is Youssef En-Nesyri, the Sevilla striker, and that goal came as a towering header over the defense of Portugal. So Portugal got very numerous chances, Bruno Fernandes, Joao Felix, but all of that in vain, and Morocco making it to the semi-finals, making it the first African country to ever make it to the semi-finals of a FIFA World Cup. And that means that Morocco will take on defending champions France and hope to make an upset that is not expected and make it the very first African team to make it to a World Cup final, and maybe with a chance of winning the whole thing. So again, put under the comments who you think is going to go through these semi-finals, and tell us who you think will be the player of the tournament so far. Yeah, so as it stands, Argentina will take on Croatia, that is on Tuesday 10 p.m. and then France will take on Morocco, that is on Wednesday at 10 p.m. The top scorer is still Kylian Mbappe with 5, but he's closely followed by Lionel Messi with 4, and we also have Lionel Messi with 4. So that will determine who will become the top scorer of the tournament. So that is it so far in the World Cup. Please get in touch and comment and tell us who you think is going to make it through all the way. I think I should stop predicting, because in the quarterfinals I was laid on the ground flat. But if I may go on a limb, I would say Argentina are favorites to make it against Croatia, and of course France are favorites to make it against Morocco. So we could see a final between France and Argentina, but do not discount Croatia, do not discount Morocco. We could still see a Croatia-Morocco final. Look out for that. So in the other stories that are making rounds, in the last time we talked about the young Brazilian talent who is playing for Palmeiras in Brazilian National League, that is Endrick, and we said that Real Madrid are close to reaching an agreement for his signature, and the news that we have now is that a full agreement has been reached verbally for a 72 million full package for Endrick to come to Real Madrid, but he won't come in 2023 because the international rules do not allow until he turns 18. So he will be joining Real Madrid in June 2024, and he will sign a 6-year contract that will take him until June 2030. So they see him as a very prospective talent, and they are deciding to pay huge money for him despite him not joining immediately. So that is Endrick for you. He will be joining up with Real Madrid in June 2024. The other news we have is that Italian midfielder Marco Verratti will be signing a new contract with Paris Saint-Germain in France that will take him until June 2026. So we look out for that news too. Then around the World Cup, we are being told that Hansi Flick will still be the Germany head coach despite their abysmal exit from the tournament. We have to remember that they were in the same group with Belgium, Morocco, and Croatia, and they were in the same group with Spain and Spain and Japan, and in that group it's only Spain and Japan that progressed, and Germany didn't make it through in the last game, though they won against Costa Rica, but they couldn't make it to the round of 16. So despite that abysmal run, they are maintaining that Hansi Flick will remain as the head coach of the German national team and will lead them into the Euros in 2024. So the other story we have around that is that Manuel Neuer, who is the German national goalkeeper, suffered an injury to his leg. He broke his leg, and that means it is a season-ending injury for him. He won't be joining up with the Bayern Munich teammates, and that means he's out for the entire season due to that injury. So the other news that we have is that talks are still ongoing between Wolverhampton Wanderers, that is the English Premier League side, with Atletico Madrid to try and sign the Brazilian forward, that is Mateus Cunha. We have to remember that he missed out on the World Cup squad, but he will be hoping to be included in the subsequent tournaments that are coming, so he's looking for playing time, as he's usually not in the starting 11 at Atletico de Madrid. So the other story we have is that Cristiano Ronaldo has not made any decision on the team that he will be joining after his exit at Manchester United. We have to remember that his contract was terminated after a viral interview where he was criticizing the ongoings at the club and the manager himself, Erik ten Hag. But the offer that is still on table is from the Saudi Arabian outfit, that is Al Nassr. They are giving him a contract until June 2025 that will see him earning 200 million euros per season, that is per year, that he spends at the club. But that offer is still on the table. Cristiano Ronaldo is yet to make a final decision on his next destination. Then the other news is that Luis Enrique, after the exit of Spain from the tournament of the World Cup, stepped down as the national head coach, and he's being replaced by Luis de la Fuente, who has been the Spain under-21 manager. The contract is already signed, and he's set to lead them into the Euro 2024. So Luis Enrique stepping down. The news coming around is that he's expected to get back into club football, to train, to coach a club, not a national team. Then the other news we have is that Newcastle Oni, or the Slovakian goalkeeper at Manchester United, that is Martin Dubravka, is expected to return back to Newcastle at the end of the season. It has not been a good loan period for him, as he's not playing any games currently at Manchester United. So that is the news that we have there. Martin Dubravka is expected to return to his parent club, that is Newcastle. He won't be expected to stay at Manchester United after his loan expires. Then the other news we have is that Marcus Rashford, the English forward currently at Manchester United, is attracting very huge interest from Paris Saint-Germain, as confirmed by the president Al-Khelaifi, Nasser Al-Khelaifi. He confirms that they have interest in him, but so far he's still a player of Manchester United. But his contract runs out in the summer, that is June 2023, though Manchester United, as confirmed by Eric Ten Hag, have an option to extend that contract by a further year, and Ten Hag has confirmed that that will be the option they will take, though Khelaifi has made it clear that PSG are very much interested in Marcus Rashford, and if he happens to be a free agent, then they will consider talking to him and try to lure him to the Parc des Princes to make him one of the most paid players in the franchise of football. Then the other news that we have is that Manchester United are pushing for new contracts for Portuguese right back, that is Diogo Dalot, who has impressed a lot in the latter parts of the season and also in the World Cup. They are pushing for a new contract for him. He's also in the same case as Rashford. His contract expires in June 2023, but he has an option to extend for one more year. So all these players, Ten Hag has made it clear that they won't be leaving on a free transfer. They will exercise that option to give them a further year and maybe sign a new contract. The other starlet at Manchester United who is looking to be given a new contract is the Argentine young star, that is Alejandro Garnacho. He already has a contract to June 2025, but the club feel like they need to tie him down to a larger contract with a higher release clause to prevent interest from other clubs, including Spanish clubs like Real Madrid. So that is the news coming from there. New contracts expected for Diogo Dalot, Marcus Rashford, and Alejandro Garnacho. And in that same vein, we expect that the right back who was signed from Crystal Palace, that is Aaron Wan-Bissaka, could be let go to make space for a potential signing in that position to provide some cover for Diogo Dalot. Some names have already been hinted upon, including Dutch right backs such as Jeremy Frimpong and Denzel Dumfries, and also Lyon's Mayo Gusto. Those are the targets that are being seen to come in as a replacement for Aaron Wan-Bissaka and provide some cover for Diogo Dalot, who has had a stellar World Cup. The other news we have is that Tite, the famous coach for the Brazilian national team, has already stepped down, so he won't be the coach for Brazil going forward after they exit from the World Cup, after they were eliminated by Croatia. And there is news going around the corners that Pep Guardiola is one of the coaches that is being pitted to come in as a replacement for Tite, though we know that Pep Guardiola has just signed a contract with Manchester City to go on as their coach. So let's keep watch of that. Then the other news is that Louis van Gaal has already communicated some months back. He's stepping down as the Dutch head coach and is being replaced by Ronald Koeman, who is coming in for his second stint as the head coach for the Dutch national team. So he's already the Dutch national team head coach and he's expected to lead them into the Euro 2024. The other news we have is that Joao Felix, who has had a good World Cup for Portugal, is ready to leave Atletico Madrid in 2023. We know that the relationship with the head coach, that is Diego Simeone, is not so good, so he's expected to leave the club in 2023, and it could be in January, and the club are expected to ask for a fee of more than 100 million euros for any club to sign the Portuguese forward. Then that is the news that is coming out from the football world. Keep watch on the SportOn channel. Like, subscribe, comment, and share, and please recommend it to your friend. Thank you for tuning in, and see you at the next episode of SportOn. Ciao.